Entering the wormhole in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a nice trip.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Andy Savage, and we're back with another episode of the Wormhole podcast. I'm here again with my boy, my esteemed life mate, Pinky. What's happening, dog?
What up, mo facos and facettes?
Shit, chilling, man. The fucking wormhole is blasting off into a fucking universe near you. Our numbers are fucking running up on YouTube. Why don't you guys check us out? Keep checking us out on Spotify. We're running up on motherfucking Instagram. We on motherfucking Facebook. We on I got a Twitch and all that set up. We haven't started that yet, but it's set up, so that shit'll happen soon. Got a Patreon going. As more content starts rolling out, we'll go ahead and get that going. Fucking to the goddamn moon, Alice. But yeah, man. What's been going on with you?
Not shit, man. Usual, fucking chilling, making shit, being creative, fucking, I don't know. Also being a bit of a vegetable. Cold weather outside, man. It's a total bummer. Can't go out and have fun no more. I want to airsoft so bad, and I know that there's more events and stuff coming up, but I don't think I got it in me. Every year, the cold gets to me more and more. Older I get.
Well, all the Cobra events are done for the year. Go ahead and shout out Cobra Airsoft. They're all done for the year. Them old people have fucking tied it up for the year. It's just not only did they used to do a Christmas one, but I guess this year they're not going to do that. They said they're done for the season.
Okay, because that's what I was thinking about. There was usually one in the winter.
Yeah. This last one they did, I do believe it was called Red Dawn. I think that was their last one for the year.
I see. Black Ops has always got a free game for Christmas. I think it might be on Christmas or on Thanksgiving or something like that. But that's one that's coming up. But still, man, like when I go outside now, I feel like it's too cold. I bundle up and everything. And when that shit hits me, I'm like, fuck, like, is it always this bad? But yeah, it's just like my sensitivity to it just keeps on getting worse and worse.
Not only is like my sensitivity to it worse, I really don't like when the guns act finicky because of the weather, with the fucking gas and the O-rings,
and shit.
The batteries, everything. It doesn't matter. The electrical ones suck in the winter and the gas ones suck in the winter.
Yep. So gotta be HPA. HPA is the only way to go for the winter.
Yeah, and that's, upwards of $1,000, if not more of an investment. So yeah, I think just for now, I'm perfectly fine just hibernating for the winter. I got enough projects to keep me busy. I'll pop back out in the fucking spring ready to kill it. And I'm fucking lighter on my feet, and by spring I'm hoping that I'll be closer to my fucking goal weight. If I'm under 200 by then, man, I'll be fucking able to move, Jack. I'll be on the motherfucking enemy spawn fucking punching him in the dick to get him out. Hit.
Can't wait to see it, man. We'll be all running up ahead and leaving Nick and Puddles behind.
Yeah.
No, Puddles runs. Nick, though.
Yeah, but fucking Puddles is dumb. Puddles will run right into a fucking tree branch and knock himself out. He's the fucking Gomer Pyle of the group.
Well, he has yet to actually get injured out there, but yeah,
that's true.
Right. He is a bit
that's true.
Accident prone, I would think.
He's always, I would say the only thing that ever takes him out is drugs. So too much drugs. Yeah.
He handles that better than me. That's for sure.
It knocks him down a few notches, though. You'll see it in his face. He'll be looking at you guys like, I'm like, hey, you all right, buddy?
He's shit when he's just like slumped over, and you're like, oh, damn it, not again.
handle your fucking drugs. If the Wormhole podcast can give anybody any advice on drugs, it's start with half, see how you feel, wait an hour, take the other half.
Or more than an hour, man, because that's
And if
like an accident that a lot of people make, dude. They fucking an hour in or 45 minutes, like, I'm not feeling it. Then they take more, and then like 15 minutes later, boom, it fucking hits them, and then uh-oh, because that's the first drugs that they took, that are hitting them. That means whatever they took afterwards it's gonna hit even harder.
that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
I've already done my experimenting, tried all the fun
Yeah, he
ones.
has.
Yeah, but like now I'm so careful with it. I'm so careful with it, man. Unless like it's proven to be something good and all that. There's been times that we've gotten stuff that I like to dabble in, but it's just like the quality's not there.
Yeah,
So
after
I
this
refrain.
last gathering trip, that lemon tech is gonna be a new move, man.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nick and I have done that again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did that at what the fuck? Not Red River Gorge. We went camping somewhere in Indiana, but we also went kayaking.
Oh, sick.
And when we went out kayaking, we did the lemon tech. We did a small dosage though. Nick made it small just because we're going to be out there being physically exerted around other people.
Yeah, he
All
doesn't
that
want to
stuff.
be Scarhead again.
Yeah, it can't get too fucked up. But yeah, like it didn't hit him that hard, but me it did, and I got fucking sick. That was the
Oh
worst
no.
fucking part, dude. I was shooting from both ends. Well, since it was such a small dose, I didn't throw up. But dude, from the back end, man, I freaking shot. That's a story. That's a story. All right, so we did the whole excursion. We did the freaking kayaking, and then we were driving on our way back, and it hit me like a ton of bricks in my freaking bowels, man. I was just like, oh fuck, dude. I was like, Nick, we gotta pull over right now. And he pulled over into some cornfields, and I started running towards these trees, like bolting towards these trees, but they're like, I don't know, 1,000 feet out from us. And all of a sudden, I hear Nick yelling from behind me. He's like, Frank, and he's pointing off in the distance. And somewhere off in the direction that I was running, there's this dog that was running towards us, like fucking bolting towards us. I was like, ah, shit. And then all of a sudden, fucking Jebediah, man, fucking with his horses and his buggy. And dude, straight up 100% Amish. It was like an Amish country around there. Comes around the fucking trees and shit in that buggy, and the dog's way ahead of him running towards me. I was like, fuck. I turned around and started running towards Nick's car and get in the car, man, because he was probably wondering, why the fuck is this guy bolting onto my property right now, man? And I had to go, man. Like, it was going to shoot from me right in that moment, man. So I was just like, I got in the car, and I'm clenching my cheeks as hard as I possibly can. Probably harder than I ever had to. Because it was wet, man. Wet. And we pulled up maybe another half mile up the road, and just pulled off to the side of the road, and I ran into like this little like plumbing area or something, like looked like waterworks or something area, and like a cannon, man, freaking just wet. And I ate a bunch of corn the night before. Ate a bunch of corn. So, dude, it was just a pile of brown mush and corn. Tons of more corn than there was shit. And yeah, dude, man, the freaking mushrooms, man. Mushrooms just don't treat my stomach right at all. And I thought that lemon tech was the new secret to it. And I ain't gonna lie, when we did it that first time at the gathering,
Oh, it
I
did
only
make you
took a
shit?
sip. I took a
Oh.
sip and I dumped the rest out. And it was enough to like, hit me and shit. But still, like my stomach was churning. I didn't get sick. I didn't get like explosive diarrhea like that shit, like how I did when I was with Nick. But yeah, man, there's just like my microbiome or the lining of my stomach or some shit just ain't set up for the fucking fungi.
Yeah.
It's a total bummer because I do enjoy fucking tripping on mushrooms. Like I'm not so much for the acid anymore. I feel like acid is
Now, have you ever tried? Obviously, the fucking. I'd say it's the stoner in you because anytime somebody's like, "Oh man, weed does this to me," and you're like, "Oh man, but have you tried sativa or have you tried indica?" Like obviously it's like we don't want you to have to abstain because of physical illnesses.
Yeah, and I've done other strains though. You know, I've experimented with. It's got to be about like since it started making me sick. It's got to be I've been about through about 5 different strains.
Well, you've tried the lemon tech, so there's
Hmm.
still like sort of a little bit of like what chlorophyll and the plant material that's in. I don't know if mushrooms have chlorophyll in them. Like I know weed does. Um,
Yeah, and I thought that lemon tech, because it does filter out a lot of the plant
yeah.
material and stuff. So I was figuring, okay, if anything is gonna eliminate that stomach problem from it, it's gonna be this, and it maybe helps a little bit, but still, like if I took a good dose, you know, like the equivalent of 2 grams or something like
Yeah.
that, I know I'd be deathly sick, man. Like horribly ill. Like what happened at Airsoft that one time.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Were you there when I got
Yeah. Oh, I was
violently?
there.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Fucking Tim had to babysit me like half hour after you guys left and shit till I was done puking because it's just like wave after wave after wave of puking, like every 5 minutes. No matter if my stomach's empty and shit, still I got to go through that wave of fucking nausea, and then all of a sudden it's just over.
Oh, that is GEY. That is
Yeah, it totally is. Ghey.
that sucks. And no, the only thing I can think of, like, obviously, eating a shroom, sick. Lemon tech, sick. Maybe the gummies or the chocolates, like the ones that are already pre-made and shit, because I don't know how much plant material, if any, is even in those. Because like those are a lot more on the chemical side. I don't know what's extracted and then
Yeah, and a
added to
lot of
the
like
gummy.
gummies and shit that are supposed to be like
There's
THC gummies and all that stuff is synthetic, you know.
synthetic, yep.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
fuck with that shit.
A lot well, the psilocybin ones for sure. Like I it's hard to trust those like one up bars. If anybody's ever seen those one up bars, they got the little Mario mushroom on them and shit. They're usually like, I don't know, maybe about an eighth, like 2 grams or two and eighth inside of a chocolate bar.
Anything
Um,
that's psilocybin and I see it inside a store, you know, or a head shop or
yeah, I
something
don't
like that.
trust that. I don't trust
If you
that.
can if you can legally sell it, there's something ain't right.
That's the salvia of shrooms for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of salvia, that is a drug that I have never tried. Surprisingly,
Me
name a
neither.
drug and I've done it. But salvia, never. I've never smoked spice. I've never done any.
I
If
have done the spice, but like so cautiously, like lightly ripped it, and I didn't like the way that I felt afterwards. Definitely had that synthetic THC kind of fucking thing. I Delta 8 fucking shit or Delta 9, whatever the fuck
you
it's
know,
called.
I say that I've never smoked spice, but I 100% can tell you that, especially during when the emergence of carts came out and everybody was smoking them dank vapes and buying all those vapes off the street from their local homie. How many times did you smoke bullshit? Like, I guarantee those were
I
not
came across it a few
legit
times, dude.
many
I can
times.
always tell right away though, like the way that the high that I get, and I throw them away. I've gotten some bogus carts before that got some synthetic bullshit, but I can tell the difference between a natural high and a fucking
Now,
synthetic. I
I
hate those synthetic
I
highs. Ugh.
could tell the difference, but I was such a hype
Yeah,
that
see,
it
for
was
me
like
though, I don't even enjoy it.
it was I was like, "Well, I'm getting high, so it's obviously not fake." You know,
Yeah, it's
like, that's what I
make
was
you feel
thinking, like,
different.
I was like, "I'm not smoking olive oil, they didn't, like, get me, like, this is a dummy bag." I was like, "Because I am high." So I'm like, "I don't fucking know."
It's
And
so distinct to me. Those those free joints that they were throwing out,
oh,
Bluntman was
yeah.
throwing out at the gathering, dude. Smoking just like one hit of those, like I'm fucking like, like paranoid and shit
Yeah.
like that. And I can feel like it in my nervous system and shit.
All
Like
of the all of so
that shit, 100%. I can say, even though I haven't tested another, that shit sprayed, man. That ain't
as
normal weed.
I've been really researching it, and, I don't want any of my Juggalo homies to get offended or anything, but it's pretty much a guarantee that if they're openly selling these at booths like the Airheads and like Blunt Man shit, like I mean, it's THCA. Like if it's not spray pack, it is definitely THCA and it's legal to sell in the farm bill. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
they're not committing fucking Fed cases openly in front of cops. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing wrong with THCA because they say THCA obviously. Well, it's not they say it is science. I know that when it's combusted, it converts to THC. I understand that, but it is not the exact same chemical compound of marijuana that you can go buy at a dispensary.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so, with that being it, you cannot tell me that it is the same thing. It is not the same thing. Like I
I
understand
could
that it
feel
can.
it even with the synthetic THCA. If it's not like regular real weed, like I don't like it.
Yeah, but the medium of receiving that chemical is always going to play a factor into how you feel. There's many different forms of alcohol. You can drink wine, you can drink champagne, you can drink beer, you can drink whiskey, you can drink vodka, and anybody that's drank any of the above can tell you that every drunk is different.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like every
Yeah.
drunk is different, but it's all alcohol, right? It's chemically, it doesn't make sense that it feels different.
Yeah.
Like chemically
Yeah.
speaking, it doesn't make sense that it feels different because you're consuming and a chemical is supposed to play. We're so used to the science side of it where, like, if you put baking soda and peroxide together, it's going to foam up. Like we know if you take A and you take B, you're going to get C.
Yeah,
And
and
it
it's
just doesn't
beyond a
fucking make sense.
placebo thing. It's
Yeah.
beyond a placebo thing for sure. It is a chemical thing that's going on because like there have been times like I'm not a violent drinker or I'm not a violent drunk, but there have been times that like certain alcohols, I'll drink them and then I'll hear about a crazy blackout night that I freaking was getting violent and wanting to fight everybody and shit like that. And later on, in hindsight, I'm thinking about it like, oh, fucking Jack Daniels, like isn't that shit known to make people fucking, put them in a fighting mood,
Yeah.
violent fucking drunk and shit like that? It's like the whiskeys. I've
Yep.
learned that the harder whiskeys fucking will make me violent and shit. And yeah, like wine, just more of like a chill vibe and all that shit. You don't get all wild off of fucking
Right.
wine. You can get the same level of drunk, as somebody who's getting all fucking crazy and shit. But you're more like just chill in your spot. Yeah, it's all different. The way it's that same chemical, fucking alcohol. I'm sure that there's a more technical term for alcohol though. What is it? We know THC for
Well, it's
marijuana.
alcohol.
It's alcohol.
Yeah. I think alcohol is the. Yeah.
Most technical term. Okay. Well, yeah, yeah. The
Not
way the
that there's
plug
any
gets replaced.
scientists listening to this podcast, but
I'm sure
anybody
there
that
is.
think that they're smart enough to correct us, please do. But
Yeah, I'd love to know. I'd love to know because if there is one, and everybody knows about THC and CBD and all that shit, but like alcohol is so much more of a widespread thing. Everybody's got that in their home. Way more people got alcohol in their home than they
well,
do
actually,
weed.
even THC and CBD, that's just an acronym for the actual chemical word.
Yeah,
And,
that
and
I cannot pronounce.
yeah, I don't want to make my. I know what THC is:
Hi,
tetrahydrocannabinol.
Cabinol, tetrahydrocannabinol. Yeah, that's right.
But CBD, I don't fucking know. I I barely know what CBD is. So I know that CBD it's non-psychoactive, and I know that like the properties of it, it's supposed to be relaxing and soothing and all that, like mentally relaxing, body relaxing, a muscle relaxer, um, anti-anxiety properties, all that. But as far as the science, and I used to grow weed, and so the science side of it though is I have no idea how they're able to how you can isolate the CBD from the THC. Like I know how they do it breeding wise. Like essentially you grow your plants and you keep testing your plants, like just the same way they did like breeding dogs and making dogs. As
Right,
like
right, right.
you keep
The
as
ones
the
that
levels are
produce the
changing,
least
you're
amount of
keeping
THC
these
but
and
the
breeding
highest
these with
level of
each other
CBD. Yeah, yeah. You
until it
breed them
just
together,
fades
and then they.
off. But yeah, I
That's
think
another
that,
thing that I just know like the basic about fucking genetically changing species and all that shit. I don't really know the science behind it, but yeah.
yeah, now they can actually do like gene altering. Well, obviously, I don't know about with marijuana. I'm pretty sure we're not having, but I could be completely wrong. The marijuana is a huge industry. So
Hmm.
to think that there aren't fucking Berkeley scientists
Genetic
doing
alterations
fucking
going on
doing
with
genetic
marijuana, I
alterations
guarantee it. I guarantee it, man. To produce the highest yields and highest level of THC or CBD,
yeah,
depending on what
or
they want.
CBN is another one.
That's never even heard of that.
So CBN, I learned a little bit about this when I had my medical card, which I do not have anymore. I definitely recommend if anybody has their medical card, fucking cool. I'm glad that you're using it. On our end, um, is a bad idea to have it here. At least if you're trying to get into, I was going to get into trucking. I wanted my CDL, and if you have a medical card, you cannot get your CDL. They tell you that the systems aren't connected, but yet somehow when I was trying to get a CDL, they were definitely connected and they knew instantly, and it was a shutdown.
Mm.
So yeah, if that's what the industry you're trying to get into, I would say I'm not saying don't smoke, just don't have a paper trail behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Or if you
Yeah.
want to carry a firearm
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
or even own a firearm, you can't even get a FOID card if you got a
which is a
medicinal
little
card.
bit asinine to me because if you think
A
about
lot of
it,
Illinois gun laws are asinine.
well, right. So, as a gun owner, the whole purpose of owning it is for protection, right? It's not as a flex. It's not as being like, oh, hey, look at my gun. I'm sure some people have it for that purpose. I mean, I'd feel like my dick was a little bit bigger if I had a gun on my hip. 100%. I think every man would. You'd feel at
Yeah,
least you'd feel at
that's
least
not a
2 inches more
responsible
of
gun
hang.
owner though. People who are like that, but yeah, they're out there.
Um, but that's not like the purpose. The purpose is self-defense, right? Now, in self-defense, you're defending yourself against normally what would you say? A criminal, right? I mean, you wouldn't be defending yourself against an innocent bystander. You're defending
Right,
yourself
right.
against somebody that's going to commit a crime. You're a
Hmm.
criminal. A criminal doesn't follow fucking laws. You know, they don't care about fucking gun laws. They don't care about being intoxicated while having a gun, you know? So it's like, what the fuck, man? Like you're like, oh, you can't have one. He'll be like, oh, well, I guess I'll just be the criminal then, and I do have one now.
I do understand that law though.
Like,
It's like you're not using your best judgment when you're intoxicated.
I mean,
You're
I get
sober.
ever since what fucking Wild West days, I mean, I wasn't in the Wild West days, but I've seen enough cowboy movies to see that alcohol and guns usually ended with a shootout outside. You know what I'm saying?
Outside the saloon,
And I
yeah.
live in Chicago, and I could tell you that those days still exist because alcohol and guns usually lead to a fucking shootout outside.
Shit. Alcohol, yeah, yeah. You bring alcohol into the mix, man. Anything can happen.
Yeah, no
That's
shit.
you're putting a very chaotic variable into the mix.
There's a fine line between violence and a ditty party.
Just the right drugs.
Yeah, it's the right drugs. Fuck, fucking Violent J on fucking ketamine, you know what I'm saying? You ever look directly into a man's anus? It's mesmerizing. Yeah, man. But yeah, drugs are fun. Um as I'm getting older, I'm starting to like I don't want to say they're not as fun. It's just that my desire to do them is just not as much. Um Obviously I smoke all day, but I don't feel like smoking weed gets me as high as I used to get, like when I was a teenager, and we'd go sneak off behind the fucking shed and smoke a bowl or some shit, and we'd be fucking ripped for, fucking, you're having the best time ever. I was like, now it's just like to maintain, but I don't smoke cigarettes or drink or fucking anything nowadays. It's literally just some weed. Weed is like my cigarettes now. Some people spark up a square when they're bored. I just fucking spark up a bong. Speaking of, cheers.
Cheers. Gotta wait for my boy to heat up. Heat up, old boy.
One for the audience, too. Why not? Yeah. Sorry if I'm disappointing any family members that might be watching this. I'm sure it's nothing new. I'm sure it's nothing new. I've been a disappointment for 38 years. Just be prepared to have me be a disappointment for another 38.
Hey, don't put this one on Facebook.
Yeah, right. Yeah, not this clip, right?
Yeah, no, not this clip.
I was like, I'm pretty sure not a single family member of mine is clicking any of these fucking links. We might catch a like on that Facebook post, but ain't nobody trying to listen to an hour and a half of this shit.
No. I even, you know what? I halfway, when I started my airsoft shit on YouTube, I halfway expected my mom to be like bombing my comments and all that shit. Yeah. Oh, Frankie, get him and stuff like that, being all about it, watching every single one. But no, I didn't even get that from her, man.
Yeah. I told you when you were starting out with like your jewelry and shit, when I was reading into this, and I was like, man, dude, it sucks, but like the least amount of support you're gonna get is from the people around you. Like they always say with artists, any musicians, anything, like you're gonna blow up everywhere else, in your home area, in your hometown, and your family and friends, that's gonna be your last fans.
Yeah.
Because they know you. They don't take you seriously. You know what I mean? Like no one's gonna take you seriously until you're fucking living in that big ass house from it. And they're like, man, how the fuck are you making all this money? And you're like, yeah, well, that stupid little project, what I fucking quit my job for when you told me that I'm an idiot and it told me I'm a fool and I shouldn't do this. Like, hey, this is how I'm here. And then finally you'll earn your respect. But even still, it's going to be a double-edged respect, because they're going to be like, huh, we're happy that you made it, but inside I kind of hate you because you found a different way to do it that I wasn't able to find. Like, I've been fucking grinding and doing overtime and killing myself and my body, and you're over here fucking with triple, quadruple what I got.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be hate involved with that.
It's only natural, man.
Yeah.
We still have so many, and I think that the common person really doesn't even realize it, but we have so many primal instincts. And you got to think to back when, before we were civilized and all that stuff. Before that, what were we doing? We were living in tribes. We were staying close with family. We knew everybody, but any outsiders were, like, you get a bad vibe with them and all that shit,
Sure.
So naturally, even as long as we've been civilized as human beings, it's still very much like in our blood to like not want anybody to leave, not want anybody from the outside coming in. I think that a lot more people though, like we fight those instincts, because it's it's not so it's you're supposed to be welcoming of
Sure.
everybody, no matter what they look like, no matter where they're from and stuff like that. And that's definitely a positive thing that I can say about humanity, is I feel like that's common now, to just accept everybody, even outsiders and stuff. But as far as like being, small town and doing better than everybody else, working your way out of that town.
Yeah.
The way that way of life, whatever that is, if it's a farm town, not a farmer anymore, you're a fucking, uh, person who goes on tour making music and shit
Sure.
like that. Like, yeah, like they're not gonna like it naturally, And I think that it makes a lot of sense because, like, if you didn't do all that, blowing up and shit like that, you would have had, um, you would have been closer to them. You might have been very important to them in their life, and the more important you are to them in their life, the more they don't want you to go. The more it hurts for you to fucking leave. So like, they're missing out. They probably also, like, in the back of their mind, feel like they're missing out on a person in their life that they probably always imagined being around until the end of time.
Yeah, and when you do finally, move out of your hometown and pursue your goals and your dreams, there's some families that'll even feel like you turned your back on them. You didn't stay in the
Yeah,
town and grow old with them and work at the family business and all that stuff. But um, I do think with like there's a difference between like musicians and I want to say artists, but I'm more towards leaning towards like content creators when I say artists. But I will put all artists in that category, even photography, videographers, anybody that works in cinema. If you're not like, even oh shit, even the directors. The director's the biggest guy in cinema, you know. I feel like the director's bigger than the actors and actresses in it, for sure, because the director's the head of the project, right? But like
I'd say he has the
you're
biggest contribution. Yeah,
before
but
you're, on the level of Steven Spielberg or like Martin Scorsese, you're going to be directing those, backyard fucking films with a camera, learning how to do this, going to school, and no one's going to really accept your talent. No one's even going to think of you as being talented. It's no when you're taking photos and being a photographer and you're just starting out, no one's like, "Oh, this guy's talented." I feel like music is the only one where you might get that little bit of a push from people because they're like, "Wow, you're really good at that." You
yeah,
know what I mean? Like other people, that's one of the few maybe like painting or like drawing, like something like that you're actually creating with your hands where people can see it and they're like, wow, yeah, you do have a talent. But like most like art creations, like painting and drawing and sculpting and all that, you don't look at that as like, oh, my son or daughter is going to be like just crazy successful because of this talent, because so many people that can create like that don't use that as their full-time job. They don't pursue that as like their life, you
yeah,
know same thing with painters. I know amazing artists that draw and paint their fucking asses off, that yet they work at a fucking warehouse or they're a cook somewhere, or like it's their hobby and they've never really pursued it. But I mean, I don't know how much money's really in it. I don't know any people that pay their bills with art. Besides musicians, I do know some musicians that's all they do.
content creators, man.
Content creators.
That's the only way to be a successful, like, painter or or somebody who draws well or makes any type of art. In order to be taken seriously, the most seriously in the art industry is to have clout,
Yep.
to have
And even
followers and all that shit. And to always be producing content, because that's really the only way
yep.
that you can get followers and stuff. You got to constantly put on, you got to, even though your art is the star of the show, you have to keep enough concentration on making your art, but at the same time you got this whole different fucking art project, man. Your
Yeah.
fucking channel,
Yeah.
or your page or whatever.
Yep.
And you got to treat them the same. You got to pour your life into it. If you're working a full-time job, you ain't going to be able to make that happen. You won't have
That's
time.
That's the biggest difficulty. But we've been doing great, you know. Everybody that's fucking watching this right now, uh, anybody that's clicked any of the links to find us, you know, you see that this is not a full time job. This is a project that I do on the side while simultaneously working 50 hours and having a kid. And just as you said, there's so many aspects of it. We have you shoot an hour and a half a week, but yet I have to turn that into daily content. I have to turn that into clips, keep sharing to keep boosting myself on the algorithms. You have to just keep working. It's so many different things behind the scenes that people don't even know about
Yeah,
that
learning the
go into this.
programs, freaking investing the money into the hardware and the software and all that.
So when people really shit on content creators, you don't necessarily know all the work that we do put in on the backgrounds. Yes, it does seem like we're just fucking talking shit on microphones. And you know, I respect everybody's hustle, but there are content creators, especially more successful ones, which, shout out to them, right? You grew so much that like you don't have to do all the background work anymore, and all you
Hmm.
do is just talk into a mic and create the content. Man, I hope to be there one day. I hope that one day our podcast grows and we have a fucking production team that does all of this work for us. I have a social media person that does this work for us. If anybody, not begging, but if anybody's interested in a unpaid fucking job, I would love a social media person.
Oh
so
yeah,
so if anybody does want to be associated and work with us, I am looking. It's
yeah.
unpaid
Anybody
for
who's
now. If you can make
aspiring
us
to do that,
if you can
to
make us
be
grow,
hmm
you know,
yeah, we could be some practice for you.
grow to fucking together, man.
Hmm.
But the
Hmm.
social media side is it's difficulty. Um I hope nobody is like bothered by the constant pouring of fucking clips from an episode I hope you already watched on Spotify or YouTube. But um yeah, it's just necessary for the algorithm. They definitely recommend to get the most amount of views and reach for an audience. You want to be posting at least like 2 to 3 clips per day. You want to be having daily engagement on your pages. You cannot like let even a couple of days go by. Your numbers start dropping. If you ever noticed anybody that's building a page or a channel, definitely listen up. Um, Daily posting and not just once. And they also recommend don't dump all your posts at once. So don't knock 3 out in a row and then just hurry up and upload them. Just be like, I'm done for the day. Ideally, wait a few hours in between.
Yeah,
That's how
yeah.
you do get the biggest reach and the biggest engagement.
Right,
Daily
different time
posting.
zones and stuff like that. The hot times for you know UK might not be the same as the ones for the USA.
Right.
So like, yeah, spread it out.
If you're doing anything live and you're anticipating live viewers, um, it's definitely good to research your competition. If there's anybody else that's doing the similar style content as you, if for instance us, if there's somebody else that's doing a alien paranormal podcast, well, you kind of don't want to go live around the same time as them. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And they all of this information you can find out on all your competitors, what time they upload what days they upload their episodes, what times. You know, don't be a dick, pick a different day because it's gonna not only help them, but it's gonna help you. And we're all
Yeah,
in this fucking together, man. Like I'm
and
not
that's
trying to
usually
steal listeners. You only put out one episode a week. I'm gonna listen to fucking 10. So you want the competition. You want somebody else to grow and be next to you because I mean, if you're just sitting at home and you're being mad that other people are thriving in the same world you're trying to be in, you're not networking enough. It's message them, message that podcast, do a collaboration episode. Have like how we have 2 videos right here. You could be an extra video in somebody else's shit. You know what I'm saying? Rather than trying to compete with everybody, if you work together and try to collaborate, that's really how we're going to make it in today's industries. And and it doesn't matter any social medias, you know, collaborating is that's key. It's
Yeah.
networking and collaborating is key, especially nowadays.
Commenting on each other's videos and all that stuff, commenting on each other's creations, whatever platform it may be on, or liking it, interacting with them
Yep.
also helps out a lot.
Yep.
There's the
You're
same
gonna get
like-minded people, they're watching their stuff, might be interested in something similar, whatever you're producing. So,
Yep. Yeah, you're always gonna get more love showing love than you are gonna be being a
oh
hater and a
yeah,
troll. You know, you're gonna
and
get more love showing love.
that's not even just with social media and shit. That's with life. You get what you give.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. And with networking for like podcasts, um, like I said, not only can you collaborate as far as um like being on each other's podcast, you know, it's not that difficult to just ask people questions. Most people are very, very receptive to questions. So if you're building your brand and you're trying to start a business and you're like, man, I don't know how to start up a merch store. I don't know how to make a website. I don't know how to do any of this. You know, obviously YouTube's right there in your fingers and you can learn pretty much anything off YouTube. But I mean, even if that wasn't the fucking bump you needed, you know, message fucking somebody else you see doing it and just be like,
Yeah.
hey, man, I don't want to bother you and shit, but I really enjoy your content. And I wanted to know, like, how you did that fucking transition on the camera, you know, like if, if they're a small, obviously, if they're fucking, uh, uh, millionaire fucking company and all that, you
Yeah,
might
they're
not get
not
that
gonna.
message back. But a small
Yeah,
time creator, man, like, you know, we
they
all
love
work.
that shit.
Yep. We all
They
look
love
out for
that.
each other. I want to
Yeah.
fucking.
Well,
I,
you're asking me. It makes them feel good too.
yep.
Most of the time, people who have knowledge want to share it. They want to pass it on. So it's usually a good thing if you got questions to ask.
Especially with the newer generations. And as much as I fucking hate Gen Z, I only hate you guys because I'm just a little bit older, and some of the shit y'all say is just dumb to me. But I'm sure some of the shit I say is dumb to mostly everybody. So, so you know, you got to take that with a grain of salt. But one thing I do fucking love about this new generation, both with our generation and the younger generation coming up, is that we are willing to share and help and network. Whereas like the older folks, like, you know, we had a few, you know, of the grandpa style people that would fucking, you know, share a little knowledge and wisdom with us. But it's like they wouldn't tell us the game, man. They never taught us finances. They never taught us nothing about managing money. All the shit that they learned how to do, they just they never shared the game with us, man. They wanted us to fucking sink or swim out there. Whereas like nowadays, I feel like we're much more prone to share the game with people. You know, when you're starting up companies, taxes, anything, you go on TikTok, fucking media, social media, like anything you need to know, you could find it now. But that just did not exist back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people, especially like things that you had to go to school for. You know, like a doctor wouldn't want to teach you about being a doctor. Like he wouldn't want to teach you actually how to diagnose medical issues, or he's never going to tell you the game. Never. You know, whereas nowadays you
What's
got
the
motherfuckers.
point?
Yeah, yeah.
It's way too much fucking information. A doctor can't pass that shit on to you. But you know what was a resource that was available even before the internet? Like business consultants.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
like there's a lot of people who are entrepreneurs that, like how I said, the people with the knowledge love passing it on, love teaching people, and business isn't nearly as intricate of a subject as medicine, being a
Right,
doctor
right,
and
for
shit.
sure.
You can actually teach somebody quite a bit in a conversation, about business. And I did it one time when I was first looking into doing my first startup. I wanted to open an airsoft field, and I even went to school to get a business degree and stuff, to learn to be set in the best position to start a business, because
Sure.
starting a business is a very risky thing, and most of the time, I'm talking about like 85% of the time, it doesn't work out.
Right.
So I got educated, but at the same time, when I was building my business plan and all that stuff, I still had a lot of questions. And luckily I was able to, through the library, I believe, yeah, maybe. I think I was able to arrange it through the library, but there was two gentlemen, two very experienced entrepreneurs that were retired, and they were there, for free, just to answer my questions and walk me through, look at my business plan, give me their ideas and critique and all that stuff. And yeah, like but it is to have a mentor, for
Yeah.
anything goes a long fucking way.
Yep.
People who are actually experienced. That goes beyond an education. That goes beyond sitting in a classroom and learning every single little detail about it. Because I'll tell you, a lot of that stuff goes to waste when you
Yep.
start your own business, because a lot of it depends on what you're doing. How the level of your small business, how far you're willing to take it. A lot of that information that you learn in school is irrelevant. And but a lot of it is very useful, learning about marketing and all that stuff. All that education goes a long way
Sure.
for anybody.
Sorry, my wife's brother, um, I want to say when he was like 22, he his brother's frat brother was like a finance bro, and took literally gave him like free financial advising, and taught him how to like build his portfolio investing, and yeah, ra- uh, uh, um her brother's doing very good with that now, which is crazy considering, where he was knowledge wise on that 4 years ago, and now, his investments are paying off and they're doing well, and he's very knowledgeable on, um, stocks and bonds. And I know nothing on that stuff. So I can't really speak on it and even describe it properly because I just don't know it.
So would you say that like the financial advisor offered him mentorship, like actually sat down with him and
Yes,
taught him,
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
announced the
He
whole
took
fucking
him
thing?
on,
Hell yeah.
mentored him, and then yeah, they would just have meetings here and there where they'd talk about, what the plans are moving forward. Maybe you should dump your money into this, increase your 401k to this, all
Yeah.
that, and like planning out just the next.
And I'm sure that for them, also the financial advisors, that helps them too. Like they make money off of their proteges investments and stuff too. That's probably the
Sure.
biggest incentive into
When they're
bringing
doing it,
bringing people in and teaching them the ropes.
when they're a financial advisor normally charges. It's just that in this instance, he gave him the services for free because that's his, brother's frat brother.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, because it was the frat bro shit. He was like, "Yeah, I'll give you all the advising for free." So he's
I
pretty
had
much
a
giving him the game. So that's cool.
I had a buddy who worked for a financial advisor, but it was more like a mentorship from where I was sitting. That's what it looked like. And I came in and got some financial advice from the guy because my buddy brings them in and all that stuff. I'm sure just another part of being a protege is they got to bring in more business and shit. And the guy even offered me, he's like, "Oh, would you like to learn more about, the game and stuff, about finances and stuff like that?" And I was just like, like not particularly, it's not a subject that I'm particularly into. But it seemed like he had a few younger people under him that he was teaching finances to, but probably all helping manage their books and taking, his own little cut of everything. Where it is like, like a tattoo artist or something, if they did an apprenticeship, they're not getting a whole lot out of it other
Right.
than, some help at the throwing things in the autoclave, cleaning shit and prepping and all that stuff.
Well, yeah, because I mean, a tattoo apprentice, man, it's a necessary thing. It's kind of like a gatekeeper position. I'm sorry, it
And it
is.
should be. It
Tattoo
fucking
artists are
should be. A
definitely
lot
a
of
big.
people don't understand that shit. It should fucking be,
It should be because of the biological aspect of it. The health and biological aspect of it make it to where it should be gate kept. But I don't care about the
You're
artwork.
putting permanent fucking images on people. If
Yeah,
you're doing something wrong and you fucking suck at it, like you could be going too shallow and but you're all sterile and clean, like that whole aspect of it and shit like that. But like you're permanently fucking scarring people. And
but
if you fucking blow at it, you shouldn't be allowed to fucking do it.
but you have to understand with art, sucking is subjective. Like there's so many people that there could be a horrible tattoo artist that is just known for sucking, and people would still come give that fucking guy business because now they want a tattoo from the guy that sucks.
Because
You
the
know?
clout, because of the
Yeah,
clout,
I
yeah, because he's
do.
known.
So it's so
Hmm.
subjective, man.
That's not the art, though. You're doing it for a whole
No.
different fucking reason. You're doing it for a whole different fucking
That's
reason.
true
Nah,
because
nah,
like
nah, nah.
I don't understand painting and stuff. I appreciate it. I love paintings. I like to look at ones. Um but when it comes to like modern art, I don't necessarily understand it as much because like there's some people that understand brush strokes and color usages and the way the lighting is, and like whereas I just see a few blobs of color and stuff like that. I don't know what I'm necessarily looking at because I'm not an educated art consumer. You know,
Hmm,
I
hmm.
don't I'm not into that. I'll buy a band poster, man. I'm a shithead. Um, but as far as that goes, like like if you were to look at Leonardo da Vinci painting, and then you look at a Picasso painting, and then you look at like a Salvador Dali painting, and all of these art styles are just completely different from each other. And and then you look at some modern artists that do shapes and stuff, like comparably speaking, the Mona Lisa and a red square and a blue square should not be, on the same level of art. Yeah, but they are. They totally are. There's
Yeah, you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And people who know art, they are having a whole different experience than somebody who doesn't know art, when they look at something. And I used to go through life thinking that, like, oh, like paintings and stuff like that, these people are just being dramatic, talking about being emotionally moved by shapes and colors and stuff like that. I used to think all that was BS until it happened to me. And it was an artist that I followed who did like those acrylic. I think it's acrylic paintings. It's just like a mess, and the whole process is you're dumping colors onto a canvas, and
sure.
then in the end it's sealed with epoxy. And I always thought his stuff looked really cool, and like I found it exciting, to like see like all the swirls and different effects and stuff that came through, and I thought that was cool. But then like one came across that like I just felt like whoa, like I saw something in it. And then I look at the price, and unlike all the other pieces of art that this guy produced, it was within my price range and shit. And I
Sure.
felt like, and I never bought art before, I didn't fucking care. But at the time, the time had a lot to do with it. I was making quite a bit of money, and I had a lot of disposable income, so I decided to buy it. And the whole time when it's on its way, I was thinking, oh, I made a mistake because it was big bucks. And I was starting to second guess my consideration into buying it and shit. So it shows up And I'm thinking, oh man, like here it is, it's not gonna be as nice as it looks in the pictures. And boom, I opened it up and fucking, I was just hit with it. And it was like the same thing that I felt when I seen the image on Facebook, but times 10. It's just
That's
like,
awesome.
yes, this thing is fucking beautiful. And then like I immediately, all the second guessing to myself and feeling like I made a mistake and shit went away. I was like, yeah, that was a good investment. And who knows, maybe it'll be a real investment, and that person will become a great well-known artist and that thing, because it wasn't made by the guy that I follow. It was his son who made it, and
Okay.
that's why the price was so low. But kid made a beautiful fucking piece of art that I did, just as a passerby, fucking, hey, what the fuck, like, hey, who are you, kind of deal and shit. So
That's super cool. And if it
yeah,
moved
like,
you, I mean, I'm sure it's moving other people, and I'm sure he's got other artwork that moves lots of people. So yeah, I hope he does turn into something one day.
yeah, and
I
even
hope
if it
that for
isn't an
every
artist,
artist.
and just well known for anything else, as a piece that this person created, that could add value. Well, it would certainly add value to it.
Do you have it still?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Sick.
have it and I keep it up, I
Sick.
think. No, actually, I don't have it up here. That might be at the other place.
That's sick. I do. Yeah, you definitely invest in art. I remember you bought some artwork from that guy at the gathering.
Mm-hmm.
That came
Mm-hmm.
by with his artwork. That was cool. I've yet to buy any original artwork. I've only bought like reprints. Um, but I'd like to buy some original artwork. Any artists that are out there listening, send us links to your stuff. You know, comment your links, anything for your pages, for yourself, your social media is always comment yourself. Shout yourself out, no problem.
Yeah, any
Let our
creators are
listeners be
welcome to
yours.
share their stuff with us. And we'd love to just be able to go through it, maybe on the air, through some episodes. And
Yep.
that would be, because as like the creators, I think it's a lot better to explore things that are sent to us by viewers and stuff, because that way you get a genuine first impression of us, seeing your art, or whatever it is you're sharing, because if we're going out there and trying to find all of our own subjects and stuff to watch, like, we already seen it,
Yep.
we are,
Yep.
one of us at least has already seen it before that, so you don't get a genuine first impression from us, is the second time we're seeing it. So yeah, anybody who follows this stuff, please, like, we'll take it seriously. Any suggestions that you guys have, or anything that you want us to critique or share with anybody.
Yep. I sent you. I know I sent you that ghost video.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah.
that was sent in. We are gonna put that on air. The only limitation is I have it set up to where I could play video, but when I'm doing, um, not to tell you how the sausage is made, but when you're making video and you're trying to add video source on top of conference calls, it does put a little bit more strain on the GPU and the computer, and my computer is just not strong enough yet, people. So
Mm-hmm.
keep liking us, keep supporting us, and hopefully I can keep growing and keep expanding on what our platform is and growing into making better things. I will show the clip, um, and I will show all clips that you guys send us in. It'll just be on a little bit different of the format. It's most likely going to be not on episode, but more on, um, that would be on like the Patreon, that would be on Instagram, on Facebook, things like that. You'll find it on our social media pages. It's just easier to record and share that way, for right now. Once we grow and we're able to do dynamic videos inside of our episodes and all that, we will be doing that. Um, but anybody that has any submissions that they do want to send in, you could send it to us via our socials, which is all linked in the bios of anywhere you could find us. But then also we have a email address that is also linked on YouTube, I believe. But that is the Wormhole Podcast 420 at gmail.com. You could submit anything to us there. You know, you can tell us how bad we fucking suck. You can
Please.
send us a picture of your butthole. I don't fucking care. You know,
I don't have to see it. I don't fucking care.
yeah. Yeah. I personally read everything. So I prefer to not have pictures of buttholes. But, you know, if my listener base is juggalos like I want it to be, um, yeah, I'm fucked. R.I.P. my
You're definitely
eyes.
gonna get some buttholes now, man. You asked for it though.
I did ask for it. I'm not like wacko. Yo, but if we are gonna get on the subject of being serious with that, yeah, we could totally kill that. I would not be opposed to us go ahead and killing that aspect of our culture. Um, yeah, I don't need to see it. I'm solid. Boobies, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
hey, it's not I would never lust over another woman. I'm a happily married man, but you know, if they just walk past me and it's in my peripheral, that's just a little treat for me. So
Mm-hmm.
those are always good. I appreciate that.
Not
Um,
gonna upset anybody with that.
you're not going to upset anybody with that. But a grown hairy man ass, you know, as beautiful as that is to some folks, it's just not to me it's entertaining, but it's not beautiful, you know. It doesn't make me fucking rock hard, baby. But but family love does. And sometimes when you open up, you know, some people
Open up that butthole. That is that family love.
I'm hard with love. But whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah, man.
What is
So,
this Wacko the Clown shit, man?
so
I heard somebody who claims to be a juggalo is crying about buttholes at the gathering.
yeah, so Wacko was essentially just making posts saying that like essentially it's like sexual assault to get hit with an unprovoked butthole. And I was like, well, I guess, yeah, for sure.
On the outside, yeah.
But it's also, I mean, technically a girl, you know, walking past you exposed breasts is sexual assault if you want to take it that way. I wouldn't say
Absolute
sexual
insane.
assault, it's just public
Insane.
nudity, right? But I guess like a flashing would be considered sexual assault for sure. For sure. You know,
How is it any fucking
I
different though?
can't here's my end of it. I cannot speak on defending the butthole. You know, I mean, I just there's no defense I can really make to whereas it's sounds good. So all I can say is that I don't want to see it.
It's
Um,
the last
am I
body
am I
part that
offended
anybody
by it?
wants to see.
No,
That's why it's a fucking thing.
I'm not offended by it. I don't feel sexually assaulted when a man shows me their butthole at the gathering.
We're
Um,
different though. We're gonna have a different perspective on that than some people. I'm sure some people are very like, oh my, moved by it and shit like that.
right.
But those
And I'm
people
not a
really shouldn't be at the gathering.
that's true.
That's what separates the gathering from any other place, any other festival or anything. They all got their drugs and their wildness and stuff like that. But it's that crossing the fucking line shit,
Sure.
that makes the gathering different. That there is no line. There is no
And
line. That's pretty much what it is.
now even looking back to the very beginning of the gatherings. Now, granted, the showing of the butthole is a newer thing, you know, started I think around drug bridge era, but prior to that, you know, obviously you don't want to see a man's anus, right? However, if that man would that said anus was launching a firework out of it, no one would have a single problem seeing that asshole. You know, if that guy's like,
Oh,
"Hey,
there will be. There's still
watch me
people.
light this fucking Roman candle out of my ass," everybody's gonna be like, "This fucking guy," but they're not gonna be like, "Oh, gross, a butthole." They're gonna be like, "Oh, I can't
You're
believe he's
still
fucking
thinking. You're
doing that."
still thinking from your perspective, though, man. I
That's
guarantee
true.
there are people that'd be offended by that. I'm thinking. I'm putting myself in my mom's shoes. seeing some shit like that. Like,
Yeah,
not entertaining.
I don't think
But I fucking love that shit. I think it's great.
well, besides our uncles, I don't know a single family member that would go to any Juggalo event and be like, probably would be willing to stay more than 10 minutes. I think they're all pretty much ready to go the moment they even see the line outside, you know?
Uncle Bill, man. For some reason I can imagine Zach's dad
Yeah, the
being
uncles
okay because
are the
the
only ones.
coke.
Uncle Bill and Uncle Steve and David
Steve
Treverson.
and Dave, they
Stephen
would enjoy
Davidson.
it as well if they were put up in a hotel.
Yep. Yep, they would enjoy it.
They would, but they've already like even told my dad like, oh man, they tried to get us to. He tried to talk us into going because I talked to him about it. I was like, man, you guys got to go. We really want you guys to go. And they've already told my dad, hell no, there ain't no fucking way we'd go to that shit.
They're old.
They're old, yeah. Yeah,
Missing
that's the
out.
thing. They're old, but they are of that mind. If they were younger, they would have really
Oh
enjoyed it.
man, look,
I think that they still could, but it'd probably be a bit rough on them.
a funny way to tie in. So anybody that's doesn't know what a juggalo is or whatever, we're essentially, a super fan family of Insane Clown Posse and the underground music that they represent, and that they're founders and leaders of. But anybody that does know, you would know that the Jerky Boys. You remember the Jerky Boys?
Oh yeah.
So the Jerky Boys, they did like prank calls and stuff, but the Jerky Boys did some of the intro work for ICP.
I guarantee that the Jerky Boys were hella inspiration
Yep.
for ICP.
They
I've
they
always, from the beginning, I've always got a fucking Jerky Boys vibe from the Clowns.
Yep, they did some of the intro work. I can't remember exactly what songs anymore. I've been listening to this shit for fucking 20 something
I know what
years,
you're
but I don't
talking about,
study it.
though. I know what you're talking. I can play it in my head.
But
Oh,
our uncles, uh, to
Jerky
tie it
Boys
in,
fans.
they were Jerky Boys fans, and they gave me the first Jerky Boys tape. My uncle gave me Jerky Boys tapes. He gave me Metallica tapes, Iron Maiden tapes, all types of cool shit, man. Got me into all types of shit. And yeah, but the Jerky Boys are funny as fuck. I'm not gonna try to recite any of their work. Just look them up. The Jerky Boys. They're funny as fuck.
Prank
The
calls in general, man. If you know what you're doing, funny as
Crank
fuck.
Yankers, if anybody remembers Crank Yankers, the prank call puppet show that used to be on, was it Comedy Central or MTV? Do you remember?
Comedy Central, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was Comedy Central. Yeah, fucking Crank Yankers was like pretty much based on the premise of Jerky Boys.
Yeah,
Like,
same shit.
yep. They were the originals to do this shit before you had all these content creators now doing this shit. These dudes were making tapes
Yeah.
and
So it would be like a cartoon sometimes. They'd have a cartoon to go along with the phone calls and shit. Just like how, in modern days now we got a lot of people doing that, man. Same shit. But Jerky Boys were the originators of that.
shout out to the fucking Jerky Boys, man. They are still around, however, they don't create anymore. They don't talk to each other.
No shit.
They had a huge. I don't know what they divided over and what they fought about, but yeah, I heard that they're like no contact on each other. They don't fuck with each other no more.
Wild.
So it sucks because like the two together were some of the funniest shit. You might even anybody listening, like I'm sure you've heard something of theirs. I'm sure you've heard at least even somebody reciting a skit of theirs. If you're
Yeah, people our age or older, like maybe like the next generation above us, probably.
35 to 45 age,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm sure you've heard
To
them.
50, I'd say.
Yeah, man. And then also I wanted to touch in about what I wanted to talk about next week. I don't know if you're familiar, but I wanted to start going into cryptids, and I wanted to talk about what really got me onto cryptids, and it would be the Mothman. Have you ever heard anything about the Mothman?
So what are cryptids? That's like the
So
monster,
cryptids are like real monsters, essentially.
like
You know,
Slender Man and all them.
uh, yeah, yeah. Slender Man, Bigfoot, Jersey Devil, all these creatures that are speculated to exist.
Cryptids.
Or yeah, that's cryptids. You know,
Okay.
that's super cool. We also have fucking so many cool ghost stories, both from our experiences and fucking every other experience that's ever happened on the internet that's ever happened to users. We have some submissions of that. I really want to get into that. We're gonna start getting into episodes closer related to the ghosts. Um, obviously we're always going to be talking about fucking aliens and things like that. I got some cool conspiracy stuff I want to talk about. But yeah, the next episode, I really do want to focus on talking about the Mothman a lot. Um, the coolest thing about that story is that there's there's tons of reports of the sightings, right? But the fact that like all the sightings ended and it's just been radio silent since like the 60s, um which is just crazy. So but would anybody that's seen like any movies on it, there was a cool Richard Gere movie back in the day called The Mothman Prophecies,
Yeah, I've seen that
and
one.
that kind of touched on it. That was like, it's not really based on the true story of it, but it is pretty cool. um but yeah, we'll talk about it more next week. um but there's a story leading up to the Mothman, and they do believe that it's a person that's related to the Mothman. If not, it is the Mothman, and that's Indrid Cold, and also known as the Smiling Man.
They use that name in Mothman prophecies.
Yeah, yeah, and they said like sometimes just saying the name could invoke him. Who I hope we didn't invoke him on us or any of the listeners. But
Yeah.
yeah, Injured Cold and the Mothman. Stay tuned next week for that. And also, you know, like us, subscribe, share, post us somewhere, leave us a comment, tell us we fucking suck, tell us we're great, love us, hate us, do something, engage with us. Uh, we're building, and if you do support us, like show us some support, you know.
Yeah.
It costs nothing to throw a like, throw a share, you know.
Talk shit. That's what I want more than anything.
Talk
Talk some
shit.
shit. And I promise you, like, we aren't the type who are gonna like go like look for you on social media and turn a whole bunch of people on you and shit like that. Like, I'll just take it in and love it. All your shit talk. So
Yep. And I don't report a fucking thing. So you can say whatever you want
yeah,
to say to me, and I'm
fuck
not
all
going to
that.
ever report or block you, you
No
motherfucker.
snowflakes over here.
Please be gentle.
Don't be gentle. Let me have it.
Please be
Talk shit
gentle.
about my fruity leotard.
Does he have a fruity leotard on?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
For my ballet classes.
Yeah, let's talk shit about that. All
There you
right, y'all.
go. I gave you all fodder.
Hell yeah. All right, y'all. Until next week, it's been the Wormhole. Peace.